Mr. V. Hi man, for an 820, residential evidence of couple living together evidence, only been here 1 week. What to do? What to do? What couples should do depends really on their entire relationship context. Obviously, I know your relationship well. We've had calls. So, I can probably advise you a bit more specifically. But, when it comes to previously, where people were coming in on travel exemptions, which I believe is your case, bringing in your partner on a travel exemption and visitor visa, right? So when the borders were closed, couples were applying for travel exemptions and visitor visas for their Australian partners to get them here quickly. And as part of that process, they had to evidence their relationship, right? So you had to prove your relationship to get the travel exemption. And we also recommended doing that for the visitor visa. So in some sense, you've already collated most of your relationship documentation anyway, because you needed it for the travel exemption and the visitor visa. So when we were handling cases in that scenario, we would say to people, okay, we'll submit the travel exemption, we'll submit the visitor visa. We're going to treat them like your partner visa. So go to Veazy, get everything we say there, and obviously we'll look through everything, we'll complete it on our end, and we'll submit everything to the government. So like 90% of the partner visa is done in a sense, in terms of the documentation. And then we would say, okay, once the travel exemption and the visitor visa granted and you're here, it's just about topping up, just bridging that gap with your Australian-based evidence. So show that you're now living together here, show that you've opened up a joint account here, and maybe try to get the visa applicant and sponsor on a bill or two, or an account or two linked to that address. And that's really all that should be required, because if you were already granted travel exemptions and visitor visas on the basis of your relationship, there really shouldn't be much more they require now for the partner visa, because they've already kind of pre-accepted you in the last applications. Yes, it's different. Yes, now they're going to assess your relationship, but I'm very confident on that advice, because that's how we approach our client cases, and it makes sense. There's no need for you to worry about, living together for 2 to 3 months and accumulating more evidence together, because you probably have already enough based on your history. But I suppose the approach is to top up the last lot of documentation you already collated with your Australian evidence, and don't stress about it too much, but try to give them some things. Focus on living together evidence and financial pooling here. Look at superannuation beneficiary for your policy here, and if you really want to, look at online wills. They're Australian legally binding documents, and they're kind of the big ones. Okay.